Hey everyone, so if you've used Git and GitHub for source control, you may have heard of pull requests. If you're new to Git, check out this video link above. But for those of you familiar or just want to learn how to do a simple pull request, I want to show you how in Visual Studio Code with an extension called GitHub pull request. So let's check it out. To get started, we'll want to install the extension from the marketplace, and the actual full name of it is GitHub Pull Requests and Issues. And for brevity, I'll just refer to it as the GitHub Pull Request extension, especially since pull requests are the focus of this video. But you should know that this extension is capable of reviewing and creating issues associated with pull requests. Now, I already have it installed, so we'll just go ahead and move on. Now, the other thing that I have set up is a simple Python file that prints rise and shine on two branches. One is on a working branch, and the other is on a main branch. Why? Well, because best practices dictate that you don't want to modify code on your main or base branch, but rather a different branch so that it could be reviewed before it is merged. And this leads us to the purpose of pull requests. To fully appreciate this extension, we really need to understand the essence of what a pull request is. And if we look at the official definition, we can see that it says pull request lets you tell others about changes you've pushed to a branch in a repository on GitHub. Once a pull request is open, you can discuss and review the potential changes with collaborators and add follow-up commits before your changes are merged into the base branch. And that base branch for us is going to be our main branch. And as I mentioned earlier, the branch that we're going to be making changes on will be our working branch. So let's just jump into it. So here on our working branch, we're going to add a line of code. And I'm going to simply print, let's get it started, but I'm going to purposely leave an error. So let me click the source control icon here, and now I will stage this and add a description, added line of code. We'll commit this and sync this to GitHub. And we are working on our working branch as a reminder. And if we were to hop over to GitHub and click on our working branch, and look at our file, we'll see the new line of code that we added. So back in Visual Studio Code, if we click on the GitHub icon, I'd like to explain there are sections going from the bottom to the top. The bottom here, we have the issues, which I mentioned earlier that this extension is capable of doing. We have a section for my issues, created issues, and recent issues. And if you wanted to create an issue, you can go ahead and click on this plus sign to do so. But we're not going to do that since we are focused on pull requests. And over here, the sections that are relevant to you is local pull request branches, which we currently have 0 in right now. Pull requests that are waiting for my review. Right below that, assigned to me, created by me, and then finally all open pull requests. But we don't have any now, so these will say 0. But let's go ahead now and create a pull request. To create a pull request, you can either click on this pull request icon here or use the shortcut that's right over here. And essentially the UI describes what our workflow is. And what we want to do is to merge changes from our working branch into our main branch. And let's just give a title for our pull request here. Added one line of code, and here we'll put details about our change and then click create. So what happens here is that a page is launched describing the pull request we just created. Note that over here it says that this branch has no conflicts with the base branch. Also note that it is checked out because we were already on the working branch. But if I'm a recipient of this pull request, that is, I need to review and approve it, I wouldn't be on this working branch, but probably the main branch where we want to merge it to. So let's hop over to the main branch. And here I'm going to check out the pull request. And once we check out, our pull request is displayed with a page that has the original code on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side is the code with the new line that we added. Now, what's great about this extension is that we could actually try to execute our code to see if there's an issue. So I'm going to go to our terminal and I'm going to type in Python 3 rise.py. And as you can see, it does catch our error, which is great because this way we can test to see if the code definitely does work before approving it. If it doesn't for any reason, we go ahead and add a comment explaining it to the developer so that they could go ahead and resolve it and then resubmit it. In our case right now, just simply add a comment that says error in code needs closing parentheses. If we hop over to GitHub, going into pull requests, clicking on added line of code, this comment can now be seen. And at this point, the developer can fix the code, resubmit it, and ideally it'll be approved and merged to the main branch. So to tidy things up, why don't I go ahead and actually fix the error. I will go ahead, stage, and commit this fix. We'll sync it to GitHub. Let's look at our pull requests. And we can see that our changes look the way that we expected without any errors. I'll go ahead and merge the pull requests. And now on GitHub, on our main branch, we have our final code without any error that's been merged. One last thing that I want to show you is that if we go to GitHub and on our pull requests repository, we clicked on pull request, chose this closed one, and selected added one line. There's an online version of Visual Studio Code that we can jump right into just by hitting the period. And by default, the GitHub and Issues extension is embedded in this online version. So as you can see here, there's a GitHub pull request, and we can compare the changes that we made by adding that second line of code. And on our left-hand side, we could drop down to see our different commits that were made. And if we were to click on the GitHub icon, you can see our different sections for pull requests and all the subcategories, along with issues and its subcategories. And there's even the detection to install extra extensions. As you can see on the bottom right-hand corner here, it's asking us if we want to install a Python extension because it detects that Python is being used. Now, to be a little bit more intricate, I want to show you a bigger project, not just a simple one. A few years ago, I put a course together that has lots of exercise files in it. And every once in a while, there's a bot that goes through GitHub and updates the code and generates a pull request. And this is an email that I got here telling me about this pull request that is available. So if I click over here, it brings me straight to the course, which is called Hands-on Web Development with ASP.NET Core and Angular 7. As you can see, it's a little bit of an older course. But if I go right onto pull requests and choose the latest one here, I can hit the period key and pull up Visual Studio Code online, and immediately it'll show me the different changes that were made. So if we look on the right-hand side, you can see with the green and pink bars, it tells us what was changed. So for example, over here, we could see like a line of code with integrity was changed. If we go down to some other lines, we could see where just one line of code was added. So if I wanted to, I can click on a plus sign here and add a comment. Looks good. And do this for like the rest of the code. On the left-hand side, once again, if we click the GitHub icon, now we could see all these other open pull requests. But for now, all I'm going to want to do is click on the pull request icon, click at the top level here, bump CSS, and here is where I have an option to just approve the pull request at a high level. Looks good to me. Click approve, and we're done. Aren't extensions amazing? And this GitHub pull request extension is a prime example. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on it are, or any other extension that just totally blew your mind. If you got value out of this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and also check out some of these other videos below.